Right, what's up guys? Merry Christmas to everybody. JJ Richards here. Happy Boxing Day, and today I'm going to be showing you a back workout. But at the moment, the way I'm phasing my training, this is kind of like a deloading back off stage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through one of my workouts that I'll be doing today, which is kind of more of a deloading workout. So what I mean by that is I'm kind of going back on the weight a little bit, and I'm also increasing the amount of volume and increasing the amount of reps. So I'll probably be going for 2 to 3 working sets this time, and I'll be working anywhere between that 10 to 15 rep range. When I'm doing my loading phase, which you would have seen from my previous videos, I'm normally going for around the 4 to 8 rep range, and I only really go for 1 working set. So I'll show you what a deloading workout looks like today. So we're going to be hitting back. So first exercise we're going to do is we're going to go onto the lat pull down. Right, so the first exercise we're going to move on to today is going to be a lat pull down, but I'm going to be doing a close grip lat pull down using my brand new mag grip. So this was probably my favourite Christmas present that the wife bought me yesterday. And what makes these so good is if you actually look at the grip, it's actually designed to put your hand in more of a hook position, so it allows you to really drive through the back and a little bit less tension on the arms. So I currently I'm suffering with a little bit of tendonitis in my forearms, and that's mainly because when I'm normally doing this on my heavy loads, because I'm gripping, my forearm is contracting, which is giving me quite a lot of pain. So this hopefully is going to allow me to still use a decent amount of load, but take the pressure off the forearm. I've had a play around with these before in other gyms, but I've never really properly incorporated it into a workout, so I'm pretty excited to be using this one today. Right, so I've just finished doing around 3 warm-up sets. So all the warm-up sets I was just really going anywhere between 10 to 15 reps. Then what I'm going to do now is just 2 working sets. So I never go usually any more than 2 working sets, even when I'm deloading. I find it's just a waste of energy doing 3-4 sets. So I'm going to hit these now. I'm going to go fairly heavy on the weight, but I'm not going to stack it. And as long as I'm getting between that 12 to 15 rep range before I start failing, then that'll be fine. Right, so moving on to exercise number 2 then. So what I'm going to go on to is a bent over row using a Smith machine. I always prefer doing bent over rows on a Smith machine just because I find that kind of range of motion a little bit more controlled, where sometimes when I'm using a barbell I find that I'm just swinging the weight and using too much momentum. So this really forces my back to be nice and straight. Because I'm doing a deload set, I'm probably going to be improving my form a little bit. So I always find that when I'm going heavier, sometimes your form can slightly decrease. So sometimes when I'm going lower on the weight, I make sure that I kind of improve my form a little bit more. So I'm going to be doing 2 working sets on this one. So I'm just going to start off on 2 plates, then I'll move on to 3 plates for the next one. Right, so next exercise we're going to move on to is a seated cable row. So this is what I kind of meant in between, the difference between using one of the mag grips and using one of the regular grips. So if you notice, as soon as you clench your hand, you'll notice in the forearm here, or the brachioradialis if you want to get technical, it contracts as soon as your fist clenches, because that's obviously one of the main parts that the forearm's designed to do. Whereas when you change that grip and use the mag grip here, because you're not fully contracting your grip, you can feel already that the forearm isn't contracted. So when you're able to pull, you're just using the arm as a hook, and you're able to hit the back a lot more without kind of using too much arms, because your arms will always fatigue before your back. So you'll notice that I do usually use wraps, especially when I'm doing like bent over rows and deadlifts, because my grip will always fatigue before my back does. So that's why these are really, really good. I'm using it twice today, just because it's a new toy, and I love new toys. So we're gonna go on to this as the second one. Probably do 2 sets again, anywhere between 12 to 15 reps on this one. Just try to focus on hitting that mid back. Right, so fourth exercise today is going to be a lower back superset. So this absolutely blows your lower back to pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off on the hyperextension bench. I'm going to do 15 reps on that. Then after that I'm going to move on to a deadlift. So I'm only going to go 100 kilos on the deadlifts, but it's more just for reps. And I'm just going to hit absolute failure on the reps for deadlifts. So I'm going to do 2 sets of this, but believe me, you couldn't do any more than 2 sets because it's an absolute killer. Right. Oh, wow.
Wow.
Right, so now we're going to move on to doing rear delts. So first exercise for rear delts, I'm going to do like a high rope pull. So when you do a high rope pull, it's quite important to make sure that you're pulling in a straight line. So just be mindful of where you're actually setting the cable to pull from. I see a lot of people pulling from all the way to the top, but I find that as soon as you're kind of pulling down on an angle, and you've got that angle in the forearm, you bring a lot of light into it. So if you kind of make sure that your arms are pulling the rope in a straight line, you'll feel it a lot more in the rear delts. Right, so last exercise for today is going to be a reverse fly. You'll notice when I do these, I only ever do like a 3/4 rep. I find if I try and go all the way up, I engage too much of like my middle back and my scapula. So you'll notice that when I'm doing it, I kind of only do 3/4 reps, but I find for me, that targets my rear delts a whole lot better. So I'll show you what I mean now. Right, so that concludes today's pull session. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope there's a few tips in there that'll obviously help you guys with your training and your progression. Like I said, it wasn't crazy hard today because I am trying to back off the weight and do more of like a deloading back off phase at the moment, ready to go hard on the 2nd of January when my prep starts. First show this year is going to be the 5th of April, so literally as soon as that 2nd of January comes, time to turn the dial up a little bit. Hopefully my body will be nice and fresh, nice and responsive from these kind of last week where I've been a little bit more flexible, ready to hit that kind of go button on the 2nd of Jan. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, drop any comments down below, and enjoy the rest of your Christmas. Peace.